All right, happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you guys are all doing great. I'm so excited about this call. I know all of you guys on the team have heard me talking about it all week, and I'm really excited to have you on this call, Kalee.
Thank you.
Before I introduce you, I'm going to go through a couple things, just some housekeeping stuff on our team. So we have 8 days left in January, which is kind of crazy if you guys think about it, because I feel like New Year's was like yesterday. There was 8 days left of this month, right? I know. And the year is rolling. Like, think about all the goals we put in place. Like, the first month is almost over. But at the same time, 8 days is a lot of time. It's a lot more than you think. So I want you guys to think about those goals that you put in place, and I don't want you to feel like I'm going to start in February if you're not where you want to be right now. So 8 full days, you have more than a week left of the month to hit those goals so that you can roll into February ahead of the game and into 2018. We talked about it on our team page today, going for that 12 for 12, right? Like 12 months of 2018 at Success Club. So if you're not there, or if you're not where you want to be, 8 full days to get there. All right. Mark your calendars, because the next Super Saturday is going to be on April 7th. So put that on your calendar. That's going to be the next Super Saturday, the second one of the year, and find one locally near you. I'm going to be if you're in the Fresno area, we're going to do it on Friday night. And then I'm going to drive up to the Bay to see some of you guys in San Jose on Saturday. And then everybody else that's all over the map, find one in your area, April 7th. Team Cup. I think most of you guys on this call are on a Team Cup, or you're trying to get on a Team Cup. If you are not on a Team Cup yet, get on a Team Cup. I know Gretchen just did a post because she's looking for a couple people. Team Cup, for those of you guys who've never done a Team Cup, my first Team Cup, I had been a coach for like 2.5 months. And I had no idea what it was. And I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll join the Team Cup. I didn't know what I got myself into. And 2.5 years later, it is still the best month I've ever had in this business. It was an awesome month. The team that we put together ended up coming in 7th in the country. And part of that was beginner's luck. Part of that was excitement. But I'll tell you guys right now, whether you rank in the top 10 or you don't at all, every single Team Cup I've ever done, there has been this energy that we've created from it, this excitement. I've gotten closer to my teammates, and I always try to pick new people to work with every single Team Cup. So get on a Team Cup and have fun, and it's a great opportunity to see your business really take off. All right, so if you're not on one, get on one. All right, you guys, I'm really excited to introduce you to Kalee. Kalee and her mom, Kim, both run this business together, which I think is pretty awesome, because that's the beauty of this business, that you can really build it how you like. Both of them were full-time math teachers, and they're both completely retired from their teaching careers, and they work full-time with Beachbody. They are 5- and 6-star lifetime diamonds, and today specifically, they're going to talk about how they launch a program. And for me, this is something I've never heard before. So when they said this, I was like, I can't wait to learn about what you do. And I think it's going to be really helpful for us to hear, even though I'm not even quite sure how this works. So it's totally brand new to us, Kalee. Take it away. Thank you so much for hopping on.
Well, thank you so much. I just have to say, I was on that reached out to her, and I was like, please, we could do our call. So the fact that you said yes, and then I'm on your call is blowing my mind.
I'm so glad you reached out.
So, me too. So we started back in 2012. We were both kind of miserable with what we were doing. So we've been doing this for a while now. So I'll kind of run you through a little bit about how we started with our lunches, and then I'll give you 5 steps that you can take into any program that comes out or any supplement that comes out. So the very first one that came out when we started was Les Mills Pump, which Les Mills is no longer with us. It's not really a program anymore, but that was our first one. And we had 6 people on our list, and we were so excited because that pack was like $250. So we were like, this is freaking awesome. We have to keep doing this. It's just so cool because you're not having to sell anybody. you're just telling people what's coming out. So it's not like immediately having to go to that private message and you hear crickets. Like, you're just getting people excited. So that really was what turned us on to creating excitement and energy around a new program coming out. But the big one that we saw happen for us after it took some consistency and momentum and trial and error was P90X3. So when that one came out, it was pretty cool because we were in New York City. We were in like a hotel, and it was that morning. And as soon as I put the links up, we had our email system set up to go. We had all the links in there. We hit send, and then we went and got pizza and watched Wicked. And it was just like, how could this be one of our best weeks when it's in December, we're on vacation, and we've only worked, an hour? But it was because we had put in all this time beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of what got us really excited, and we saw it growing. And then the perfect storm kind of just happened, like in a good way, when the 21-day fix came out. We actually got a call from Carl like 2 weeks after it came out, like at 8 o'clock at night, just saying like, girls, what are y'all doing? Like, how are you making this happen? Because we had 256 Success Club points. And I mean, that was like, I think it came out February 3rd, and this was like maybe February 15th or something. It was nuts. And then when PIO came out, I was getting married. Like, my wedding was actually the day that Summit started. Like, it was June 21st. And I was just like, I don't know how we're going to make it work. So we just started promoting PIO like crazy beforehand because we were going to miss like that launch date. And so we had a rehearsal dinner, again, had that email list and sent it out on a link. And we had a ton of rollover volume. And if y'all don't know about rollover volume, it's amazing. Like, make sure you figure out how to find it in your back office, because we ended up having like one of our biggest weeks ever because we were able to capitalize on our rollover volume with PIO. So our Success Club points weren't as crazy, but we had like a huge week. And this is something that you can do with smaller programs too, because I mean, I know like 21-day fix, well, duh, Kalee, that was huge for everybody. But it can work with double time, the UV2, clean week. You could use it for anything that you wanted. And really it comes down to what you connect with. So if you, like for us, like double time, UV2, clean week, and 80-day obsession were all like thrown at us at the end of the year. And so we knew that we had to kind of pick which one we wanted to focus on, because we start promoting it as soon as we hear about a new program. And so 80-day obsession really matched our personality. It matched our client's personality. And we knew it was something that we could promote long-term and people get really excited. So, if there's multiple programs, pick which one fits your personality best and which one's going to fit your team best, because you're going to create like a duplicatable system. But you can use it for anything. So if you're a UV2 girl, go with that and go strong. But pick out what works best for you. So the 5 things I'm going to tell you about today, it's perfect if you have a hard time inviting, if you have a hard time going to those private messages, or if you're the person that's just like, I hate to be salesy. Because it's something that you can just be genuine about. Not that you shouldn't be genuine when you're talking about your challenge group or something, but there's just something cool about like a new year. Like, y'all were talking about your goals. There's something cool about a new program. There's something cool about, a new supplement coming out. And you can really capitalize in on that excitement and create like a movement, kind of like Team Cup does, when it's with a launch versus just your day-to-day power hour. So this is your 5 steps. You can use it for anything. We already have the bars coming out. We're going to have that mindful eating thing coming out. So I'm so good with names. Sorry. We have all this stuff coming out. So it's something that you could apply right now to your business. So step number 1 is to figure out your system. So you need to have a place that you can collect names and your emails. The program that we like to use, and we're grandfathered in, it's called BombBomb. It allows you to use like videos back and forth in your email service, but it's kind of expensive. We've been on it since probably 2013. So if you need a cheaper option, Aweber is really good. And they're both just email services. They do have a slight learning curve to them, but we really like having an email service because you can go ahead and kind of create what you want to send out. And then as soon as you have the links, you can just say, hey, here's your link. This is how you're going to sign up. So we really like those 2. I'll say something about MailChimp. Sorry, I got to uncross my legs. MailChimp is something that we've seen a lot of coaches use, and it's great. Like, it's something free. But they actually have in their policies that you're not allowed to use it if you're with network marketing or an MLM. So they can literally like shut down your list, shut down your emails without notice because it's against their policies. So another free one is called Mad Mimi. So, you might look at that. Another free option would be Google Forms. I don't know about Streak, but I always see them promoting, like with Facebook ads to us. So I'm assuming that it's probably okay.
Okay.
Like MailChimp will like straight up tell you like, don't even try this, them and Constant Contact. And yet like people still use it. Like, and I'm like,
Streak is part of, so Google Forms will feed into Streak.
Okay, cool.
I didn't want to put it out to the team if you had heard anything that maybe I didn't know.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
So, and I think they're pretty, like, just where you see their marketing and stuff, I'm pretty sure that it's safe. But having a place to collect the names and the emails will be helpful because it's just a little bit more formal than saying like, hey, drop a comment below. And Facebook's getting more and more strict about stuff like that. So it would be better to just be able to collect, some information and take it off of Facebook or take it off of Instagram. So those are some options that you have. I also like it because you're not having to just like go, all right, I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to send you a link all from like your Gmail account. That just makes it so easy. And that with the Google form, you can actually customize it and ask them questions like, what's your fitness level? What are you hoping to gain? And kind of get them started from the get-go. So that's tip number one, is to make sure that you have a system in place just to be able to collect the names and emails. You don't have to have anything written, just know where you're going to send them. And this is something that we include on like every post, just like, hey, if you're interested, click here, and that takes them to that sign up page. And that can start months ahead of time. Like I think 80-day obsession was kind of like hinted at like in August. Before we even like knew the name, we were like, Autumn has a new program, sign up on our list. So you can start as soon as you hear about it, which leads us to step number 2, which is to create the excitement and the value. So go ahead and share. If it's something like, I'm hoping you're picking out a program, a workout, a supplement that you are really excited about. And this will help you just be able to get excited and generate that and show it in your post. Maybe you do a post about it, then you do a picture, then you do a video. So you're mixing up what you're doing, but you're making sure that you're showing why they want to do this and why you're excited. Yeah, that's going to pass off to them as well. The other thing that you can do is go ahead and start building that value. So if it's 80-day obsession and they had, like this worked out perfect with a little obsessed, like you could go ahead and start saying, go ahead and sign up with that 14-day trial. I'm going to give you a sample meal plan. We're going to be doing this together. We're going to have a prize day 6 because you made it through it. And then what we did before that, like before we had that amazing little like preview, was whenever they would do a sneak peek on VOD, we would push it like if we knew Monday and it came out Saturday, we would do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday a post. And then Saturday morning we would do it like on a video, and then they could still sign up on Saturday. So if you can, build that, excitement for the little previews as well. And then if you can just build value by saying like, all right, we're going to do it right after Christmas. This is your incentive. Maybe the incentive's a meal plan or prep week where you don't already have the meal plan. It hasn't come out yet, but you can plug them into, something else, a simple slim down from Turbo Fire. Like there's an Inferno plan. You could pull that out, something like that, just to kind of build that excitement. You could do a prize. If, we have 10 people commit, then I'm going to give away, 3 packs of Shakeology. And then you could talk about like how you can help them one-on-one. Why would they join you versus going through Beachbody or Amazon or wherever? And then we start doing 1 post per like 7 to 10 days when we're far out. So like 80-day obsession, I think Lacey already mentioned it, like in the fall. So like every 10 to 15 days in the fall, we started mentioning it. We got up to like November, we were mentioning it every like 3 to 5 days. And it might just be a little snippet. It didn't have to be, like you're going to join my challenge group. It would just be like, I just finished 21-day fix, cardio fix, and I can't imagine what I'm going to have, with 80-day obsession. I'm so excited. I love autumn because blah, blah, blah. But go ahead and talk it up. And where it is just like a little, like I call them little breadcrumbs. Like you don't have to, say like, do this right now. Like you could just kind of sprinkle it in where people are wanting to know more. So go ahead and talk it up. You might make an event on Facebook or make a group that's special. You'll want to be careful of naming something like the trademark. Like we had somebody use like 21 Day Fix in their Instagram name, and they got in trouble. So like, don't use the trademarks because that's against our policies and procedures, but get creative with it. Maybe it's 21 days to a new you or something like that. So that's number 2, is to create that excitement, that value, show people why they want to work with you and your team versus anywhere else. Number 3 is to help them get started right now, especially if it's a harder program like 80-Day Obsession, or, like we had a long time to promote Hammer and Chisel. Think about what you can do to help them get started right now. So whenever somebody signs up on our list, our email system is actually set up where they'll automatically get an email that says, hey, thanks, are you working with a coach? Because if you are, you need to reach out to that person versus us, because they should have the same information. If you're not, let's plug you into our free group. We do one every beginning of the month, reply back for access. And so we get them plugged into just like a 5-day, like we'll do like an 80-20 meal plan, because that's just how Mom and I eat. Like we aren't going to give up our chocolate or our cupcakes. So 20% of the time we have stuff like that. And a lot of our clients relate to that. So we go ahead and plug them into that free group. From that free group, we're like, hey, you could be working out too. So let's get you, trying bod. And when it's an extreme program like 80-Day Obsession, most people can't just jump into that. Like it's an hour long, it's advanced. Why not see if they need something like Country Heat or 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme? So you can plug them into all of these things. And where we started in the fall, we were able to help them build up and be ready for 80-Day Obsession in January. So go ahead and start helping them now, because it's going to build their trust with you. It's going to get them excited, and you're going to have somebody that's going to have a transformation. It's really cool when you can have somebody sign up like for their free bod challenge, like in November or December, and then they're ready to coach by the time the new program comes out because they've already seen results. Like that blows my mind. And most people would just say like, oh, I'll just wait for the new program to come out. Like they could already lose, like 5, 10, 15 pounds. It's so crazy. So go ahead and get them plugged in. That's step number 3. Step number 4. This is where you get a little technical, because the emails, I mentioned we have one that goes automatically out. You could just go and look at your list every week. You could pick out like Wednesdays, I'm going to go look at it, and you could just email the new ones. So you don't have to get super techie with your list. You could just reach out to them whenever you say, I'm going to check it every day. I'm going to check it every week. So really you can keep it as simple as you want. But number 4 is going to have you start reaching out to like cold market. So I'm going to get a little techie on you. I'm a little nerd like that. If like our blog, I'm super nerdy about. So we're going to dig into that little part. So once you have your list, you have it on Streak, you have it on Google Forms, you have it in your email system, you can actually take that list and you can put it into your Facebook ads. So you can set up an audience just with that list. Now that list is already subscribed to get the new program. So like you're not going to want to target those people because they're already on your list. They're good to go. But you can create a lookalike audience. And you can find YouTube videos on all of this. So like I won't bore you with that. Plus I've done it before for our team, and then like it never fails. Facebook changes like the little setup like the next week. And I'm just like, but you can download, like you can export your list, and then you'll upload it to Facebook as an audience, and you can create a lookalike audience. And what the lookalike audience does is it finds people with similar interests and similar demographics as the people that have already signed up. So you already have a really good list to work with. So you're not having to go through and pick out, their age and their behaviors and activities and all that. If you just use your lookalike list, it's going to filter it for you. So you're not having to get super creative with that part. And we'll just go ahead and set up an ad. And it can be like $1 a day to $500 a month, whatever you wanted to budget. And then if that part scares you, you can always do a boosted post. So if you see that one of your value added posts about a new program's coming out, you can always just go in and boost that for, $5, $10, whatever you want to do. So if the lookalike thing scares you, you can always boost it. But that helps us get out in front of other people instead of just going with our friends list or the people that are liking our page. And with Facebook like pages, just like our reach is like nothing now. So it's helped us, grow our audience a little bit more. And then another thing that you can do is you can do a referral like contest, or, just like really recognize somebody. So if you don't want to do, Shakeology samples or performance samples, you could always say, well, whoever refers is going to get this special sticker that they can use on their profile page, or they're going to get a special cover photo, or they're going to do something special in the challenge when we start. But by asking people that have already signed up for your list to tag a friend or to refer somebody to you, even if it's just for a free group, that's going to instantly like give you twice as many people to get in front of. So you want to make sure that you're building a strong list to start with, and then in step 4, you're going to expand that list. And the referrals and the ads are really what helps us get in front of more people. And then number 5 is just to let time work for you. So if you're able to build excitement before 90% of other coaches, you're able to build, that value before, you're going to be seen as a leader. You're going to have that credibility that, maybe as a new coach, you don't feel like you have. Like when we were promoting Les Mills and even P90X3, we still weren't, like nobody was like, oh, well, I've seen your blog, or I've seen you do this, or you were in this test group. Like they didn't know who the heck we were, but they knew we knew about P90X before everybody else did. So that can help build your credibility and give you that leg up that you might want as a new coach. And it also helps you become more consistent, because I know for me, I didn't really have a plan of what I was going to post every day as a new coach. But I knew like, oh, well, P90X is coming out, or Les Mills is coming out. I need to post about this every 3 days. Well, that's going to look, spammy if I only do that. So to help me build up a good, healthy social media platform and like my brand. And then go ahead and get them plugged into that group now, because as I mentioned, you can go ahead and get them, you're really seeing results, getting them excited, and they're not going to just say like, oh, well, I'm going to do this 14-day trial with you when it comes out. They're going to say, I've done that. You've really, helped me. You've given me all this, for free. I'm ready to move on. I want to go do this. And they'll, splurge on the bigger challenge pack. They're going to like splurge and decide that they're worth, trying coaching, that you're going to build up that confidence with them, that they're able to take that extra step right when the program comes out. So that is step number 5. So I don't know. Do any of y'all have any questions? Did I get too techie or skip over anything?
I do. I'm sure other things will come up, but right off the bat, so I know, you're starting the process with the email campaign, and so the very first email that they get is an automatic email. Mm-hmm. So I want to walk through this process. Someone comments on your post and says, I'm interested, and then maybe they fill out your Google form, or they go to a link and they sign up. Now they're going to get this automatic email. So correct me if I'm wrong, but instead of having that one-on-one convo of, here are your goals and let's talk about it, and here's the program, which can be very time consuming if you want to expand, you're building the trust, not so much in a one-on-one conversation, but you're building it by putting them in the free groups and plugging them into something. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so that's really where you're building that relationships. It's not happening in a one-on-one like messenger conversation.
Right. So, and if you have enough people, like we started with 80-day obsession thinking that, we were going to like look, like I think our questionnaire was like, do you, like what's your name, what's your email, what's your goal, do you have a coach, do you have Beachbody on demand? And so we were getting those, and they started off really slow because, there wasn't much out there about it. But so we were writing back and forth, and we were like, this is just taking so much time. So we actually created just a group that they could all go into immediately. Like when they signed up, they got the automatic email, they got added to that group, and then we were able to like discuss back and forth. And then like we weren't answering the same question like 100 times. Like they could see it in the group, or we could tag them in the group.
And when you say sign up, you mean sign up for the form, not sign up and bought the program.
Right. They just signed up, they filled out that form.
Okay, I love that. So you're able to talk to so many more people than kind of what the current process is for a lot of us.
Yes.
I love that.
And I saw a lot of people launch like UK kind of like that. So if you were to go back I'm sure there's other trainings on like how people launched UK, but I don't know why we don't do that for the programs too, because it's so huge. And I mean, as soon as like people were willing to share like their results, I was all about it. Like they were like, yeah, you can use our pictures. So I was like, okay. And so I was posting, some pictures like every few days because it gave me something new to talk about.
Well, and I feel like it's probably so much easier to convince someone to spend a certain amount after they've now, first of all, getting an email is easier than telling people to talk to you about their goals if they don't know you. And then two, putting them in a free group and you build that trust, it's easier to tell them to pull the trigger on a price point than it is to tell them to pull the trigger before they've ever worked with you.
Yeah, and it's also going to build social proof because if you have, like we had like 10, 15 people every launch that we had that have been like, I'm going to follow you to the ends of the earth, like I will buy whatever you tell me to do. And so when other people that are on the fence see that, then they're immediately going to have a higher level of trust with you because they're like, well, if she's willing to do that, then they're doing something right.
I love it. I know that you guys probably have questions because this is like the first time we've ever heard it like this as a team.
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
This is so I might have missed this, but you were talking about, because I've never really had anyone that does like the 14-day trial or anything like that. And I'm assuming you are running the free group. Did you say for 7 days is what you do, or is it the full 14 days?
So what we did with like normal, like we'll do a 5-day group and it usually ends like on day 7 because like we'll give them a 5-day meal plan. Saturday we'll ask about the results, and like Sunday we'll be like, this is your last call to join us with something else. But when it comes to like a launch group, we just kind of kept everybody in the same group. It ran as long as like we were promoting 80-day obsession. And then once they became a client, we added them to we do a year-round challenge group for our clients, and we added them over there. So we just kind of let it roll. Like normally we do, 5 days and then it ends on day 7. But with this, where it was so long and stretched out, we just kept adding new people that were on their 14-day trial. And then, the people that had already hit day 15, they were like, well, I'm just going to keep going because she just signed up, so that kept them going with it. And it helped our bod subscriptions a lot too.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And then your email automatically, I'm sure you have something set up to track like all these people on whatever day they're on, so that they're getting something that's like, okay, your trial's about to be over. Here's like challenge pack choices or something like that. Or is that within your page?
So we just kind of do it all on our page, like, because in the initial email that they get and in the group, we're talking about how like on day 15, it's going to renew. Because right now, when I looked at it last, we had 944 people on our 80-day obsession list. And it's just an automatic drip. So like every time somebody opts in, they're just going to get an email on day 1 and day 3. So we didn't take on the responsibility of letting them, like, hey, it's day 13, you got to cancel. Like we just, like we told them once, we told them in the group, so it's twice. You got to remember, put a reminder in your phone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just so it wasn't so much pressure.
Yeah, I know. I was like, how do you track all that?
Yeah, no, we didn't try. And when you get that many people, it's just hard. We did ask that they signed up as a free client, but if they were just in that free group, we just asked them to do that. If they did, that was great. If they didn't, we hoped they would when they bought their 80-day session.
Okay, awesome.
And you can get as customized as you want. Like, I like to be like super organized, and then that can just drive me nuts. So, my mom pulls me back, and that's how we figured out our system. So.
I
have a question.
Yeah.
So do you primarily like promote things just on your like page, or do you promote things on your personal page? What's your opinion on like using your personal page versus a like page?
So we actually use both. Our like page has over 13,000 people that like it, and sometimes the reach is 26 people. So that can bum me out pretty quickly. Just because, you sat there and built it for that long and you're seeing it to 26 people. So we do use our personal page, and we actually just hired a social media coach back in November. Before that, we were doing like the same post, like you just copy and paste it and stick it on like our personal and then on our like page, because we wanted both to come off as us versus like, salesy or spammy or whatever, that she was saying to actually do something a little bit different on each page and then to share from your like page to your personal. So you can look at both our personal page and our like page, very similar content, but we will mix it up a little bit with a picture or something to, you know, share it to our page so it doesn't look as spammy. So if you were to look at mine right now, there's a video of Mom and I talking about crock pots, a crock pot challenge we're going to do. And if you were to go to the Sorey Fitness page, you'll see a picture of me dancing around with a crock pot. So we mixed it up a little bit, but it's the same content. Sorry, I got long-winded. Did that make sense? I told y'all I get nerdy, and that's something new that I'm learning. So, like, how to get the reach just like I want.
Kalee, a lot of the coaches on the team are still pretty new. So what would you say to a coach that, like, out of all of this, what would you tell your new coaches to put into place, and then what to maybe put on the side for later, you know, who might not be ready to do like Facebook advertising yet, that kind of stuff? Out of all this, what would be your recommendation of how to start, you know, and take the best out of this that they could apply right away?
Yeah, I would definitely start with your regular personal Facebook page, and like keep an eye on Facebook because they are changing up their like procedures and their policies. So I'm sure y'all have already seen, like, but Zuckerberg was talking about how it's going to be just like your personal page. So that helps a new coach because you're not going to see all these people that have built up something. Like, you already have an advantage because you have your personal page. So I'd use that. I would aim to, you know, if you have people on your team, you have people in your life that you know would like a program, I would go ahead and start talking to them, you know, seeing how y'all could partner up, you know, like if they're not a coach, like, but would you be willing to share this for me, to kind of expand your audience a little bit organically versus having to do like an ad or something like that. The free group is a great way to also expand. So it might not be exactly related to your launch, but if you were to do something that you really love, like the 80-20 meal plan is something that I go ahead and make for myself each week. So I have that plan. I just will go ahead and say, all right, on the 29th, we're all going to do this meal plan. Do you want a free meal plan? Tag a friend, share the post, and that automatically will get more people into your circle that you can start sharing new programs with and your challenge groups with. And I friend everybody. So like if they want in the group, then they're getting a friend request. That way they're also seeing all my posts and, you know, starting to get to know me.
Anything else you guys want to ask, even if it might not be related, like specifically to a launch, but related to Beachbody?
You want to ask me about the dog, right?
So such a cute puppy too.
Yeah. You said you do a year-long challenge group?
Yeah.
So you never close it, and do they just come in and out?
Yep. And it's worked so much better for us, because a lot of the time, especially when we first started, we would only have like 2 people commit. And then it was like, oh, okay, like, do I join up with somebody else? Like, what do I do with these 2 people? So we had that happening. And then we had other people that were like, I just want to continue on. And then they never would post. They never did anything because they had the same program. They couldn't get motivated. So doing it year round has really helped. And what we do is we'll change up the theme each month. Or like, we're 80-day obsession is so long, like we're doing 80-day obsession for 2 months, but typically we'll change up the theme, and that attracts people back. So if they didn't like 80-day obsession, then in March they might like our mindful eating theme. Another way that we've kind of gotten people back in is doing a 21-day task list. So for like day 1, post a picture of your breakfast. Day 2, share a sweaty selfie. And so that helps engagement. Even though it's running all year long, it's broken down into something manageable, like 21 days.
Okay, I like that. And I just want to say that whenever I would Google 21-day fix recipes, you and your mom would always come up.
Cool.
So it's really cool that you're on this call with us.
Oh, well, thank you. That's the nerd power coming out.
I'm a nerd too. I'm a former math teacher.
Oh, cool.
Assistant principal now, so.
That's so cool.
a random question, since you do it with your mom.
Mhm.
Did you say that you guys both kind of joined together, or who was the one that started first, and then who, like, how did you guys end up wanting to do it together? Because I feel like it's something my mom could potentially, like, she's, playing around with the, the workouts and stuff like that, but I could totally see her really getting into it. So what do you think sparked the two of you to do it together?
So we're like super weird because like we have friends that have went in kind of like what you're saying together, and like mother daughters that have seen us, and so they'll join up and do the same thing. But my mom always worked out at home, like Julian Michaels, Tybo, all that stuff. So I always saw it, and then I wanted P90X and Turbo Fire, and so I ordered those. And then I was still living at home, and we were going through a tough spot financially. Like we actually lost our home and moved into a different house. And that was when we heard about coaching. I saw it on Twitter. And so I talked to her about it. And she was like, well, why would you do that by yourself? Like, why don't we do it together? And so like, I actually signed up with somebody that was like, what gives, I guess, network marketing a bad name. So I immediately quit. Like I made it like a month to quit. And we were like, do we go back to that? And so we got back into the boat again, and mom was like, all right, well, you can't sign up for 6 months. I'm going to sign up. So she signed up. I worked with her. Like I was posting just like as if I was a coach. And then when my 6-month period was up, I signed up. And we're now like an LLC. We split everything 50-50. And there really wasn't like one of us leading the other. We just literally came in together.
I love it. Cool.
But I think it's awesome if you can have somebody that in your family that does it, just because one, people like seeing us. They've told us they like seeing us because they can see I'm 29 and she's 47. So like they can see how it works for both people and both age groups. So we attract, like a bigger audience, and it helps, people come in with a good attitude and knowing that they can do it no matter what their age, what they're going through, getting married, having babies, or, fixing to hit menopause and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think I liked what you said about the 80-20 thing. I think that would work well for her. Like, I'm totally fine with the containers, and like I love like strict nutrition and all that. Like that works for me. But for her, like if she knew that she could maybe do something a little bit more flexible with the 80-20, she might be able to relate to those people. And I'm doing 80-day obsession, but it's kind of just nice to know like all those options, and that works for you guys too.
Yeah, totally. I think the best thing like that I wish somebody would have like I wish I would have told our coaches that have signed up with somebody else, like a friend, is just to know where your boundaries are, because like we literally, share everything. It doesn't matter. Like whoever's like, I got like all the clients at the beginning because I was underneath her. So it built volume better. But most people aren't like that, and you're not going to split it 50-50. So knowing like, all right, if you're talking to somebody, this goes here. If we're going to do a challenge group together, I'm talking about containers. So you might want to run your own 80-20 challenge instead of trying to always work together. So kind of know where you want to be before you start it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep the drama down.
Can happen with family.
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much of your evening because I know we got a little bit off topic, but I think a lot of that is so helpful. You totally opened up my eyes to a new system, and I love it. Thank you so much for hopping on. Does anyone have any other like last questions or anything? Okay. Thank you so much, Kalee, and tell your mom thank you too. I know that you guys, you have to decide like who's going to do the call, and your time is valuable. So I really appreciate you putting this together for us.
So, of course. And my mom actually did a call last night. So that's how we picked, back and forth. So, but if y'all ever need anything, feel free to reach out to me or my mom, Kim. Like, you'll pretty much get the same answer from both.
That's awesome. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks on your team call.
Oh, yeah, duh. I'm like, well, why don't you see your team again? Like, yeah. So, yeah, I'm super excited. Sorry, I just had a brain fart.
No, it's okay. I'll see you in a couple weeks. All right, you guys, have a fabulous night. I'm going to post the recording, and I'll send it to you too, Kalee, in case you have someone you wanted to show it to.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, you guys, have a fabulous evening.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.